Well, I'm Victoria Duenas, and this is the story about my leg and how the events of my life have brought me to Northland Adaptive. Well, I was born without my leg. It was something that they had never figured out when I was in utero and was a great surprise when I was born. And it really has been a defining thing for my life. I was in my early 20s when I first got connected with the Courage Center. So I was living in the Twin Cities then. Got connected with the programming and started monoskiing with them. I also did sled hockey and water skiing and a few other things. But monoskiing was really the thing that I fell in love with. And it was such a game changer for me at that point. Being able to get around other people with varying body abilities opened me up in a way that I had not experienced before. I had tried skiing several different times throughout my life and ended up in some not good situations, and for lack of coaching and equipment or whatever it might be. But the Courage Center got me into a monoski, and I had volunteers with me and coaches. That first year of monoskiing was the first time that I ever realized my leg and my abilities is something that I could be proud of. I ended up skiing with them for 2 years, and on the second year that I was in the program, I had a couple of things happen in the chairlift and another accident that I kind of had to step back for a little while. And it wasn't until I decided I was going to move back to Minnesota from the East Coast last year that I started thinking about the Courage Center. And at that point, the Courage Center was transitioning into being Northland Adaptive here in Duluth. And I actually reached out to them before I even moved here. This winter, I got to start monoskiing again. I had that same exhilarated feeling that I did all of those years ago, but I was terrified of getting on the chairlift. Was headed towards the chairlift with the entourage of people, my volunteers, coaches, everybody that was there to support me in that moment. And I totally chickened out. I stopped everybody and said, oh my gosh, I don't think that I can do this. I was trying so hard not to cry, the quiver lip going. So Dom was the name of the volunteer. He looked at me and he said, Victoria, so many times, I have bailed on things so many times. On the chairlift, on the rock wall, in sports. It was so striking for him to say that to me. It was just the right thing, what I needed to hear. And really, what he was trying to convey to me was that I need to trust my intuition and trust myself when I know that it's the right time for me to do something. These are the types of things that happen in groups like this. We spend a lot of time laughing, we spend a lot of time being silly, super serious when we need to, showing our scars and showing our vulnerability. There's a lot of power in our vulnerability when we can express that to each other. Like when we're able to get out and do something that we weren't able to do before, when we have people around us that don't put caps on our capabilities, that don't caution us to be careful. And I think that that's what Northland Adaptive does for people.